Hello everybody, this is Mr. Momobot, and welcome to my review of the original animated Batman Galleria set? I don't know. I kind of forgot what this 5-pack figure thing is called, but it's really awesome, so I wanted to review it. It has some problems, so yeah, I thought it would be good to review. So before we take a look at these guys and gals, let's go take a look at the packaging in the other room. So here's the packaging for this Batman animated series. I guess it's called the GCPD Rogues Gallery. That's what this set is called. So yeah, so this is what it looks like when you open it, and there was some foamy stuff that was in this little spot, and yeah, so as you can see, this is where Poison Ivy would be, Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc, and Bane, and this is where Renee would be. So yeah, that's magnetized, and I wish you could pull that off, this part, so you can just have it sitting next to this, but yeah, guess that's okay. This also has a light up feature. As you can see, it's already lit up. It's been like that all night ever since I got it yesterday. That's not good, because it runs on I think two AAAs. So at least they chose some batteries that are relatively easy to get instead of those weird flat circle-y ones. But the stupid part is about these things is that about these lights is that there's a little button right here, and if you press it, it turns it off, the lights off. You have to hold it though to turn them off, and when you let go, it stays on. That is horrible. They really should have made it where you just click it on and off. That would have been great. I would have been so happy. But that's probably the worst thing about the whole package or the set, because the box is sort of they obviously wanted to make it where you could keep the box and you don't just throw it away, and just because of how it looks, I am willing to try to keep it for as long as I can, and hopefully in okay conditions. But yeah, that light thing, either mine might be messed up, maybe other people's are different. I watched Pixel Dan's review of this. He didn't really mention that problem, so I'm not sure if it wasn't even a problem, like maybe it just clicked like normal and it worked, or it is the same and he didn't see it as a problem or something. But I see it as a problem, because it can't stay on all the time with just AAAs. That'd be like, it'd have to be some sort of actual phone app, so you can turn it on and off or something, something more advanced. Well, they could have just made it, turn it on and off though. So yeah, that's what the front looks like though. And that's what the back looks like, which it looks like Harley Quinn and Joker was back there, and Catwoman and the Riddler, which is kind of weird because this could have been a much bigger set. This could have been a 9-pack thing. They could have had Harley Quinn, Joker, Catwoman, and Riddler with all these guys. I think they've made them separately already. Maybe that's why they didn't do that, but that would have been pretty cool if you think about it. Because they could have fit. But then the accessories wouldn't be able to fit as well. But I'm sure they could have figured something out. But either way, that would have been it like $200 probably. I don't know. I don't know why this thing was like $171 or $175. I don't know. I'll have to look at the receipt. But saw this at my comic store, or one of the comic stores I go to, and I saw Mr. Freeze, and I realized that that's the original Mr. Freeze from the original animated series, instead of the newer ones. The new one is fine, but I really like that old one. You just can't go wrong with the old Mr. Freeze. But that's mainly why I got this. But the other figures are very nice, actually. I don't like Killer Croc or Bane very much in terms of their characters. I mean, I have never really liked them that much, but as figures, I actually really do like the figures, so haven't really messed around with them too much, so yeah. So, that's the box. Gonna put it back up there. This is my new display in the back room. But, yeah. Time to look at those figures close up. So, yeah. That was the box. Pretty cool box. Other than the lights not really working, I think, the way they should be. It's a really cool box. I'll probably be keeping it for a while. But, yeah. So, here are the figures. I guess I will... Ooh, excuse me. I guess I'll go over articulation first. I'm not really sure what to go over these guys. They're fairly simple in their design in terms of, you know, how they look and stuff. You can pretty much see, you see what you get, pretty much. But, yeah. Let's just look at the articulation of, I guess, each one. So here is Renee Montoya. I kind of forgot her name, honestly. It's been so long since I've watched the cartoon. Thank goodness it has her name right there. Cat fur. Anyway, so let's take a look at the articulation. I don't think I'll be hand swapping. All the figures come with extra hands and accessories and stuff. I won't really be going over that too much. But I will go ahead and show you the articulation of Renee right here. So, she has a ball joint in the head. I think it's double ball jointed, like most of these characters in this set. She can look side to side pretty nicely. I absolutely love this figure, but there's only one gripe I have really about it. For some reason, there's a little black... It's so blurry on my stupid camera. I need a new one. I need to save up for one instead of spending my money on figures. But, you can probably see it. There's a little smudge on her neck. A black little smudge. I really don't like that. But, other than that, there's really no problems. I like her little hat. And, her arms go about that far. And then they rotate right here. Which, when you have them bent like this, they can't really rotate too much. But when you do that, they can. And her hands can rotate and go back and forth like that. But you want to be careful with these hands probably, because they don't feel entirely, you know, they seem a little fragile, but I would definitely be careful with these figures. Then her waist goes side to side. That's pretty stiff. I haven't moved that. Yeah, that's pretty good. It probably can go more. It's just I don't really want to move it. I don't want to make these guys too loose. Her legs go all the way forward pretty much, and that far back. And then, of course, they go out and in. Her knee bends, as you can see. I just haven't moved her knee, apparently. About that far. And her feet, they're just kind of on swivels, I guess, so they don't have rockers, which is too bad because that would have been nice. She's one of the figures that can actually stand up in my set anyway. Pixel Dan somehow got every single guy or figure in this set to stand up, and it's like, I don't know how I did that because some of these have very loose hips. She's one of the better figures, and that's why one reason why I like her a lot, this figure. I heard that this is the first time Renee's been made as a figure. I'm assuming there's like super old-timey figurines of her, but in this, you know, DC superhero line thing, they have not. So this is great. Really great character. And then here's her little base. Got a little illustration of her. Of course, it's blurry on your thing, or my camera. Sorry about that. And this is the new little grip thing for their stands. I like it better than their other ones that just kind of articulate and supposedly actually hold characters. If it was stronger before and made a better plastic like this one, it would have been fine, honestly. But this one literally just kind of snaps together, and I think that's pretty smart. Except it's kind of clunky. As you can see, it's kind of big, so it's hard to get them actually in it sometimes. But I kind of like these new stands, so I'm glad of that. And here's her little pistol. It's pretty nice looking. It's pretty flat in terms of paint job and stuff. Nothing really wrong with it though. Pretty cool. I wish you could see it better. Okay, so I'll just put her down over here. And next is Bane. One of the characters I didn't really like from the show for some reason. I liked him in the movies, or, you know, the movie. Except now I don't, really. It's pretty goofy. But, yeah. I have not really moved this guy, except his legs. As you can see, it's not apparent, very easy to spot, but it is loose. I can feel it. And I don't like that. So, his arms go out very far. Very nice. Pretty much just straight. And they rotate, obviously. Okay, so again, you can't really rotate these parts of the arm. Oh, it just was stuck. Okay, let me try it then. Okay, so he can rotate his arm a little, like that. So that's nice. This does let me actually break these guys in a little. Just want to be careful with them. His head... Oh, man, his head really barely moves. So you're not going to get much out of him in terms of head articulation. Which is weird because Killer Croc is actually pretty good with his head. So his waist moves too, side to side, pretty nice. Very stiff, that's good. Then of course his legs go out. I think Renee's went a little more, but I'm not sure. And they really don't go backwards. They do go out, but they do have a ratchet, which is really cool. I just wish that, you know, the forward and backward motion was better. And his feet go up and down. They don't rock. They don't rock. But, yeah, that's him. He looks pretty cool. I'll do little rotations of these guys on that little spinny thing. Hopefully you guys can see it pretty good when I do that. try and make his chest piece straight. Good enough. I like this little tube on him. It's very flexible. Oh, there's a little white smudge. Is that... Can I get that off? Nope. Well, that's a problem right there. Not as bad as Renee's neck, though, because it's not as noticeable. In terms of, you know, right in front of us. Right in front of me. You. Everybody. Okay, so here's Killer Croc. I forgot to mention that with these two, Bane and Croc, it's a little harder to get this thing around their waist. You might want to get them hit around their legs, honestly, but it does grip their waists just enough, and it basically just stops them from falling backwards, which is what they'll probably want to do more likely. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you this, even though you can't really see it too well. Just show you. Okay, so he's actually standing up, so that's good. Probably because his feet are very flat and squarish. So, I haven't changed out his hands yet, so I don't think I will. Maybe I will, I'm not really sure. There's nothing he can really hold. So yeah, so let's see how far his arms go. Well, that's sort of disappointing since his shoulder is sculpted in that way. I thought it was going to be able to go up all the way, but like more a little. But okay, whatever. Okay, you can do that. That's pretty nice. Then his hands rotate and, of course, move back and forth. These are really cool looking figures. I really actually like how Killer Croc looks. And his head, see, as you can see, his head can actually move compared to Bane. Maybe my Bane's head is just too stiff or something. I'll have to test it out more, but yeah, you can get him to cock his head to the side a little. It's interesting. Unfortunately, he can only look up that far, but it's pretty good. He can look down. And kind of like this sideways. So it's a little at a slant or whatever. Not just straight, but that looks pretty good, I'd say. And his face looks pretty cool. His jaw. And his teeth are painted pretty well. There's no... They did really good on the paint spillage here. There's not really any, except that on Renee's neck and his back, apparently. Bane's back. But, there's a little black thing right here on his chest, but it's not very noticeable. Look at his spine. That's pretty cool. Well, okay. That's Killer Croc. He's pretty cool. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that his waist up or abdominal chest area moves like that. It really doesn't move that much, so. But, and I'm very disappointed by this thing. I mean, they made this look like it was gonna go all the way down, but it doesn't. That's probably the worst part about this guy, because that just looks kind of ugly. For no reason really, because it doesn't really make him articulate very well, so that's disappointing. Oh, I forgot to test his legs. So they go out, and they sort of have a ratchet thing too. They go forward and back a little. His knees actually go really far. And his feet are not on ball joints. They are only swivels. Which is okay in my book, I guess. So he can stand up, apparently. He was earlier, though, so... What about Bane? Let's see if he can stand up. He's a little lighter, I think. I'm not really sure. Okay, yeah, I got him to stand, but he will fall over, so Bane needs it definitely. Yeah, Killer Croc looks pretty cool. And here's his little thing. Too bad it wasn't concept art instead. That'd be pretty cool. And of course, here we have Mr. Freeze. Probably the main highlight of the whole set. So yeah, let's take a look at him. Take that off his leg. I had to attach this to his leg instead because of his little oxygen tank thing, or whatever, freezing tank thing. But yeah. So yeah, like you just saw, his head can move around actually pretty nicely. Of course, it's not going to stay like that quite in this dome thingy. But his head sculpt's pretty nice. And he does not have a waist articulation because of this weird little round thing on his stomach area. Kind of his stomach. So that's unfortunate, but he does have rubber elbows, which means he can actually bend his elbows still. Not too much, mind you, but surprisingly, it's not too bad. So I'm really happy about that. And this part is also rubber right here on his, I guess hand, wrist, yeah, wrist. But the rest of these blue things are not rubber. But they make the paint consistent, so it doesn't look different too much. So I really like that. I was not expecting blue or rubber bendy arm things. That one bends really nicely, which is good because that's the one where his gun will be. Now, for some reason, this looks awkward. Like, look at that. That looks weird. Like it's his wrist is broken. I think mine has a manufacturing error. So yeah, that's a problem. But either that, I have the arm, this part of the arm actually backwards. But I turned it the other way and it looked worse. So I think this might be a problem, or this might be how he's made. I'm not sure. Maybe I should look at a Pixel Dan's review again or something. If you guys have this problem, if you even can tell what I'm talking about, pretty sure that's showing up good enough on the camera. If you guys get this set, please let me know if you have the same problem, because I don't get that. But yeah, so his arms can go pretty far out, like the other characters, but rotating it obviously is not very good. They should have made this whole blue thing rotate with the arm, or just have it as a little thing that you can rotate, so that this arm can rotate better, because I think that could have worked, but not too bad. It's not a big deal, honestly. Of course, his elbows move, and then his hands rotate and go back and forth, or up and down, whichever. And then his legs, they're also rigited apparently, and that comes off really easily, honestly. They go out that far pretty much, farther than he's ever probably done that in the show. His legs seem like they could be the most fragile out of all of them, so be careful. And then his knees, let's see how far. That's pretty okay. And his boots actually right here rotate. So that means you can rotate and go up and down with his feet. So that's nice. I like that a lot. So even though he doesn't have the chest piece articulation, he has the, you know, better feet, I'd say, in general. Because most of these guys do not do that. Bane, actually, I think Bane's rotates too. His boots. Yep, I forgot to mention that. So he gets to do that too, like Mr. Freezy. So this is definitely the best Mr. Freeze figure I've seen. Technically, there's been really cool statues of him we could have gotten. I guess we should have done that a long time ago, but I like this figurine because you can change out his hands and stuff and all that crap. So that's the Mr. Freeze. So yep, and here is his little thing. Put you right there. I'll go over some of the accessories obviously in a little bit. And here is Poison Ivy with the little rose bush thing. Not really a bush, but roses. This is an infuriating one. The bottom of the base keeps popping off. And she's so small, I can hardly make that open. Gonna have to glue that in or something, but that might be a bad thing. But yeah, so she is very skinny, and let's go over articulation. Her head can really only, it can't really move. I'm trying to put it down, but it just kind of stays halfway, so you could just nod a little. Her arms go probably farther than anybody else. Yeah, pretty much straight. Her legs go out, not backwards at all, pretty much. Maybe just a little, but not very much. And that far forward. A little less than I thought she would, actually. Her knees go about that much. And her little boots rotate, and her feet go up and down, of course. They sort of have ratchets. That's very good for her, because she's so skinny. So, she has very smooth articulation, because she's so small. I just wish her head could move a little more. Maybe rubber hair, like NECA does sometimes. Oh well. She looks really nice. There's nothing much else about her. She has this little thingy on her. I guess that's her little poison gas thing. Did she have a poison gas thing? I have not watched the show in years. And we only watch select episodes, like the Mr. Freeze one and other stuff, so yeah. I would not know. I just realized she does not have a waist articulation point. So, yeah. Then again, I have no idea how they would have been able to do that without making it look really ugly. So I can't blame them. So, that's Poison Ivy. She's pretty nice looking. Very nice. She's pretty articulated too. I mean, basically like all the other characters. She's very short. I have, I'll do the size comparison in a second with them, but yeah, I'll talk about that in a sec. So, let me do the rotation thing. So here is Renee Montoya. I need the base, don't I? So here is Renee Montoya, if I said that right. I'll just do the first name. So yeah, I had to put her on her base because she wouldn't stand on this wiggly woggly spinny thing. But yeah, she looks really good. Really cool. I think her face looks pretty good. Again, I haven't seen the show for a long time. I'll have to take pictures so you can actually see what they look like. Right now they just look like black dots on a face. So that's not good. So I gotta fix that. I really like the hand sculpts for her for some reason. I like the slightly translucent plastic because it makes it look glowy. I like it when companies do that. Makes it look a little realistic, even though this is a cartoon character, very heavily stylized. Works for them too, though. So yeah, it's not just on her, but I think it's a little more prevalent on her and Poison Ivy. Yeah, the other characters kind of have that look too. Except maybe Killer Croc, since he's just gray, but... But yeah, this is... Renee. I wonder if the cartoon actually has more detail on this little badge. Because they're just yellow. Makes me wonder. Oh well. Yeah, so... That's Renee. And here is Bane. So, you can turn his head side to side, just not really up and down. I just found that out. I'm pretty sure I showed that though. this cord is actually kind of tight, so it's not like super ultra, it won't get in the way kind of little thing. You gotta be careful with that then. But yeah, I'd say he looks pretty good. He has a few scuff marks up here though, I just noticed, so he has a few marks that I don't really like. But in general, pretty good. I've seen much worse with their other figures, like, you know, the single packed figures. They can have very bad defects. I'm glad they actually took a little more care. I just wish it was like 100%, because I'd say this is about 98 or 99%. So he looks pretty cool. He only comes with a like a dumbbell for weightlifting, unless that's for Killer Croc. But I'm pretty sure it's for Bane. But yeah, that's his only accessory. Killer Croc does not come with anything really, just hands. Poor guy. Guess he doesn't really need anything except his hands. Speaking of Killer Croc, time to put him up on here. And here is Killer Croc. By the way, if you can hear the outside world, I have my window open because it's a nice day and I really like that fresh air. I don't get out much. But yeah, anyway. Here's Killer Croc. He's actually pretty good in terms of not any scuff marks. It's probably because there's no other colors. They don't have to worry about having him have a black vest like Bane or something. Or not a vest, but whatever. Just his pants, which they didn't really mess up on, so that's good. I really like his back. It looks really nice and detailed in terms of his spine thingy. He looks pretty cool. I'm glad I got this set. I just wish he came with something. Very nice. Well, let's go to Mr. Freezone. And here is Mr. Freeze. He's probably going to drop that little thing, but okay. I'll make sure I don't lose it, though. Yeah. The only thing I wish they made him come with was hands to actually grip this thing instead of just kind of lay it on top of his fingers. That's all you can do. If he could grip it like his gun, because that was really nice fitting. Which, by the way, all these accessories fit really nicely in their hands whenever they actually can grip something. So I am very proud of them doing that. I'll have to talk about something really bad about Renee's shotgun, though. But I'll talk about that when we get to the accessories, which is very soon after Poison Ivy. So there is Mr. Freeze. Okay. This base is not very well made compared to the other ones. It detaches from the white part of the base, and this little gripper thing also detaches from the rod. It's just loose. I don't like that. It's not good. But let's just rotate her. She's very loose in the little base thing, so it's. I wish they kind of made a special one for her or something. But yeah. So there is Poison Ivy. She looks a little weird from this side, honestly. But yeah. She looks okay on the front and this side, I'd say. They did good, pretty good on her too. Just wish they made. They should have just made special bases for these guys since this is such a unique set. That would have been really cool. But, okay. Oh, he's getting all weird. Come on, stay in there. Is this close enough? She's kind of small. Okay, so that's it for the rotations. Let's go ahead and look at the accessories. Okay, first of all, the set included these little papers. Here's some instructions on the display bases. Or, that's the display base. And, shows poison ivy. Looks different from that little picture down there though. Then head swapping with Renee and her hand and his hand. Just showing the hand stuff, I guess. Accessory instruction sheet. Okay, cool. Pretty simple. Doesn't really say any warnings though about fragile. This is the battery instructions. They don't tell. This is just a warning thing. It doesn't say how to really, you know, make it where it just, turns off and on like normal, like I want it to. But maybe I'll open up and see what happens. But maybe I'll just take out the batteries so it doesn't waste batteries. Just put the batteries away or throw them away because they're probably half full now because or half empty because they've been up on all night. So yeah. And a cool little advertisement sheet for all their other lines. The animated series, the original one, the Batman adventure ones, which aren't bad figures. Batman Beyond, I used to hate that thing, and Superman. So here we got the Batman Beyond figures, which is Old Man Bruce Wayne, which is really cool, by the way. This is a 3-pack, it looks like. Has a dog, so that's a plus. I guess Batman right there and from Beyond doesn't look too bad. I really like the Old Man Bruce Wayne though. He looks pretty cool with the cane and the doggy. And then we got some Batman Adventure Riddler and Catwoman. And there's Batgirl from the original show, I guess. And then there's a Batman that includes more expressions and stuff, which I'm very tempted to get a hold of this one, even though it's like 50 bucks or something, or 40. Because we have a Batman figure, but it's from the new show. Because at the time, one of their older figures of the original animated series, it looked off. There was something about him that just didn't look right. But this one looks pretty good, so we might try to get that. I did look up a review for that. The accessories are a little underwhelming. So, that's a problem. But, yeah. And then we got Superman and Lois Lane. Lois Lane. I wish you guys could see these better, but Superman looks really good. We might have to pick him up. guess that's a 2-pack, I guess, so I'm gonna have to pick them both up, I guess. But, yeah, that's pretty cool. I like these little things. I'm gonna keep that in the box. So, my leg's getting tired, because I'm leaning forward. But, here is the accessories that are in here. So here we have Killer Croc's hands, the dumbbell thing that I guess Bane can lift with one of his hands. Yeah, I think it's these hands. Then there's Renee's other head. It's just the same exact expression, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's just without the hat. So if you don't want the hat, just use this head. It ain't bad. I don't see anything wrong with it. And then her extra hands, which obviously the hands that she has on are not... Well, actually, this hand that's holding the gun, I got from this package and put on her. And her original hand, I think, is this one right here. Could have been that one up here, but I'm not sure. But it's one of these. But luckily, it sticks in there pretty well, so I can just keep all the accessories, or most of them, in here. The hands, I think that the hands are safe just putting back in here. And maybe the head. Not sure, though. Now, the thing I want to talk about, the shotgun. When I first pulled this out, it bent a little. And that's why the shotgun's not quite straight, unfortunately. But I didn't realize that this is not a flexible plastic. It sort of felt flexible, but apparently it's not. So, this part right here, right there, is starting to break off. So if I put it back in there, it's gonna bend again if you take it back out. So do not, when you take out the pistol, because it's so small, I wouldn't put it in there either. Do not put the shotgun or pistol back in this box. Just get a baggie and tape it on the inside of this package for them. Because yeah, that's not good. I'm gonna have to glue that probably before it actually falls off and breaks off. So that's these accessories. This is where the stands were. There's this second thing for Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze. So he has his other hands. This is one of the hands he had on, and this is one of the hands he had on. So he had his fist hands on originally, because I have his pistol and his open hand for that little ballerina thingy. Of course, his pistol goes here, that little ballerina thing goes right here, and part of the stand goes right here. And then I have not taken out any of Poison Ivy's hands. I might go ahead and do that in a little after there's a review or something, because some of these sculpts are really nice. She just has her fist hands right now, so yeah. So yeah. That's all the accessories. Other than, of course, this, which is the ballerina thing. I'll have to take a picture of everything so you can see it better instead of this blurry vision. And of course these roses from Poison Ivy, which at least you can see those. They're decent little things. They're sort of flexible, but I wouldn't suggest doing anything with that. Okay, so that's all the accessories. And that's all the papers. So, yeah. That's pretty much it for this figure set. So, let me end the video. Whoa, 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 whoa. What am I thinking? I'm not done yet. Size comparisons. I forgot to talk about that. So let's get Ivy straightened out, because she needs to be straightened out the most out of everyone. She is tiny. I don't remember her being that short in the original show. That's why I'm going to talk about it. But let's see. Line these guys up. They're pretty much standing up straight. So, yeah. They are, I think, in height with each other. Looks like Mr. Freeze is a little tall for, you know, being right next to Killer Croc and Bane. So that's kind of weird. She seems like she would be the same size as Renee, I thought. I don't remember her being kind of teen-sized in the show. I think they did that to her in the new animated Batman, or the new Adventures of Batman, or whatever. But, which I didn't watch the show. I've seen clippets and little, like, top 10 videos or whatever, or episodes. So, I want to watch that show, even though it doesn't look good. The designs just aren't as appealing to me, not all of them, as the originals. But I'll be willing to give it a shot. I mean, it's a continuation of my show. So, yeah. So, for size comparison, we have a New Adventures of Batman. So, I don't know if the old one is exactly the same height or not, but it looks like he's in scale, pretty much. Again, I thought Poison Ivy was pretty much just as tall as Batman. Maybe I'm thinking of Catwoman. I don't know. My throat's not feeling so good right now. But, yeah. So that's kind of weird. Yeah. So, this guy goes pretty well with these guys. It's just that, he's obviously not the same Batman. He looks a little better than the ones that they made before, I think, though. But, we gotta pick up a old Batman and probably a Joker or something. So there's that. And here we have a NECA figure, which is obviously much taller than these guys. Or, at least, I thought he would be. Let's get him over here. They're both on bases, so they're pretty much at the same height. So, honestly, these guys are almost as big as a NECA figure, so I guess 20 bucks. How much are these guys by themselves? I know Batman came with a lot of accessories, so in a way I can see why they might be 20 bucks too. But their quality isn't always the best. This figure right here is really dusty, but he was like super well made. So, and he had a lot of accessories, I think. And he had a few. So, 20 bucks. Pretty cool. Actually, that might have been a little more expensive because it came with a DVD. Battery's running low. Better hurry up. Here's Master Chief, Joyride figure. And here is a normal Halo 3 figure from the old days. They are much smaller than these guys. These guys are about Halo 4 to Halo Reach size. A little bigger than those though. But yeah. And of course an alien, obviously. Of course he's not standing up all the way, but kinda is. Sort of. These guys are pretty tall, so yeah. But yeah. Let me know if Poison Ivy was that small compared to these other guys, or maybe these figures aren't really completely in scale, which would be a shame. But they still look good together and stuff. It's just would be a shame. So, let me know about that in the comments. If you have this set, tell me what you think of it. Definitely, I'm glad I picked it up from the comic book store. I'm really liking Mr. Freeze, and I really like Renee too. And those are my two favorite characters from the set, I think. But they're all really cool. Ow. And yeah, so sorry I couldn't give you a proper demonstration of those lights like at night or something, but I'd have to wait like till tonight to do that, so I just want to go ahead and do this video. Besides, one of the lights is already going out because of the battery power, I think. So yeah, but yeah, this is that Batman animated series Galleria thingy. So yeah, hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next review. I also forgot to mention that these bases suck. Can't you guys just make a Figma stand? I don't mind the fact that this is at the bottom. I like this artwork and stuff, although I don't know if it's concept art. I think it would be cool if it was concept art. But please just make something that holds these figures better. Please. Not this stupid rod stuff that doesn't completely work. At least it's not as... I don't think it's as bad as... I think these are better now because of the clamps compared to like that Batman. That's the old one. That's the old kind of stand. But I wish they was just better with the stands. But at least it's not Monster Hunter Rathalos bad. That's a piece of crap. Either way, enjoy your day, and may the Bat-tam-er-angs be with you.